G's been on that city. That's where Brad said
to this strategy? It's a horrible time. It's crazy like crap. Good cause. I got three. Good. I think this pie stuff.
you need that pie.
Probably 15 cents. You got
I gotta sneak out.
raising money and all that stuff. They want to do it for individual people. Voting for it. At least. Not much.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
How you doing? She was nice enough to come to my event last week. You guys are working?
Yeah. I told him I'd go. Okay. I'll pull it.
Don't forget our strategy on the phone.
Yes.
I'm going to see you right next time.
Just my mouth water driving in like this and think of all the wonderful steak.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good to see you.
I don't have to be kind of thing. What's he like billboard?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I went to Carson behind me.
That's fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. We're
They're good. They're the first time.
Wow.
Governor, how are you, sir?
How are you, Maker? Oh,
Sedalia. Oh, we went to school together in Tennessee.
What's your favorite?
Faith.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Are you a Muslim family?
No. Well, what's your favorite? No, don't.
Bears.
My mom.
Mary Ann. And her
Mary Ann
mother's.
is my
Yes, thanks.
Well,
It's her day. Good to see you.
So why what's your life? Can you run this summer?
probably fine.
You'll have to. I need to start joining her.
He's a professional. How did you grow up here in students?
My husband David is from Sedalia.
Worked for Jaeger, Tommy Davidson for 20.
And I'm fortunate here at WK. So I don't find it. So I've been in the car business 20 years. Yeah.
Talked to Kyle, great like you.
Well, he,
Probably don't.
oh, he's amazing. Don't mind us phone.
I don't like him.
Is he here? I told Carson. Cam's amazing.
Elsie, you like all of us. So, Dan, I'll tell you real quick. So, find the phone here. So,
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I talk more, but I'm my.
I figured, yeah, you have a sound.
Really good.
It's great to see you in person, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Got the good stuff downstairs. Well, anytime we go to events, they bring all the wine for us. Like,
Taking pictures and sending me things. Like, yeah, I knew you're the speaker. You're not really bringing that one.
like, oh, there.
We love it.
No, I'll let
Love
it.
that.
100 viewers.
And then I was going to buy some of the corn.
Every Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
You're good to her now.
They're a great family.
The best. Well, it's good to see you.
All right, we certainly understand people are still coming in, but we're going to stay on schedule tonight, which will be the first time in the history of this event that we have done that, but we're going to. So please come, start to make your way towards the front. We're going to do our past president's pie auction here in about 5 minutes. So if all the past presidents can kind of start to mingle this way. Again, all the past presidents start to mingle this way, as well as our current president Chuck Faughn.
Yeah. You would know a little bit of something about it. I don't like it really runs. You think it's Christian? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I worked out for you since. Very nice. Time with you well. Okay, you know he's doing good.
Then we're gonna get rolling, so all the past presidents can just start to make their way to the front. Also the current president, Chuck Miller. All right, if I can have you quiet down just a little bit. I know you're having fun. We understand this is a fun event. But if you can quiet down for just a little bit, you're going to hear from your current president, Mr. Chuck Faughn, who's done an outstanding job for this association, and he's up next. Okay, if you want to quiet down just a little bit, so those who want to hear can hear, and we'll have my feature voice to make it listen. Yes, sir. I can't thank you enough for being here, each and every one of you.
Yeah.
This night's about raising funds for our political action committee to ensure that we have leaders who truly value the farming and ranching communities in our state. We must work together to preserve for the next generation. It is about honoring also those who happen to be NCA past presidents. Tonight, before I go further, let us remember past president John Belts, who is currently in hospice care in his home in southern Missouri. That, having said that, on your table, on your placemat, you will see a complete list of past presidents. We ask those past presidents in attendance to please come forward as we get ready for the annual past presidents pie auction. So past presidents, make your way to the front, please. As they are coming forward, I want to say that it is an honor and a privilege to be your president this year. But this process truly takes a few of the individuals.
And I got
Here's our president, Jeffrey Yap.
and who you with?
We have Vice President Thank you. Well, then we have our treasurer, Marvin Dykin. Marvin,
Oh, it's always a good.
there's Marvin over here. Our secretary, Charlie Besher. And then we also have several regional vice presidents, like the president of so Vice President,
We have somebody that said they tried to have like do it.
Let's see them all around the call. Get a great.
I don't know if that'll happen. Yeah, I'll do it. Wow.
Where we at?
You're the most conservative candidate now.
Thank you. That's on tape too. Yeah, all right.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm Dean. Nice to meet you. Yeah, thank you.
The role of past president is never ever to be taken for granted. They give insight, guidance, friendship, and an absolute critical for success of the team I just named. David, I truly appreciate you. Please give David David, you are now part of the elite group. You are now part of the elite group. If you got your first pie to sit on this picture, I'll join you next year. How's that? Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Before I turn this thing over to Mike Berry, Robin Whitaker, where are you at? Robin Whitaker. Chairman of the Board of Directors, University of Missouri. Robin Whitaker. Dean Dalbert, are you here as well?
Chris Talbot. Okay, here comes Robin. I'm going to turn the mic over to Robin for just a moment. And she's got a special recognition to make. Here's Robin Winokur from Mizzou. Thanks, Robin.
This is a fun opportunity for the University of Missouri to recognize Mike Deering. In April, we awarded Mike Deering the Alumnus of the Year for the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources for his commitment not just to the university, but to the ag industries. So we're recognizing that again tonight because we want all of your members to know how proud we are to be associated with you.
All right, Jeremy Anstein with Kingsville Livestock, longtime partner of our association, great guy. He's going to come up. We're going to start this pie auction. So again, I know you're having fun, but I want you to pay attention a little bit. Bid on a pie, game deal. Bid on a pie. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this started. This is our annual pie auction. Chuck Miller said we're going to have a record pie auction this year, and that's only going to happen if we start to venture this way. Pay attention, and we're going to get this thing going. We're going to keep you on time tonight. And Jeremy Anson. All right, Stephen, here first up with a gooseberry pie. Your 2016 Vice President, Keith Stingman. Again, we got a delicious gooseberry pie. This is usually one of the record pies that's out in this auction. So here we go, Jeremy Einstein. All right, thanks, Mike. Get seated, guys. We're going to go gooseberry pie right here, 2016. Made by Keith Stevens, right here, $50, and now $100 $50, and $100 $100 here, $550, and get going, guys. $100 now, $100 in here, put $150 $100 here, $100 in here, $100 a quarter, put $125, $100 in there, $100 in there, done for go, guys. That's $100, put $125, $50, and Bruce, $150, and now $200, and now half, and $250 Bruce. I get on to $3, I get on $300 in there. $300, $300 in here, $300, $250 for you down, $300 in here, sold it $300, number one number 275, $300, but on 275. That was Richard Thomas, longtime supporter of our political action committee. Mike. And guess what? Einstein, we have another gooseberry pie. We got one more gooseberry pie made by the same person right here. Hang now, $100 down half, $150. Hang now, have it in there and half. Bruce, look here, we got another one, two half. Hang it in $200 in there and half. Look, 200 two and a half. We're gone. Hang it in $200 and half. $100 in $200 in there and half. Look, 200 250 already done. Hang it in three. Need another one. Hang it in $240. Look, two. Hang it in $100 and $220. Hang it in $225. Bruce, $200, and that number is. Put them on 298, 200, 298. Bruce Rashawn. All right, up next we have your 2000 past president, John Cawthorn with a cherry pie. John Cawthorn. And he made it himself. Homemade cherry pie right here. Hanging about 100. Hanging it out half here, two. 100, half two. Hanging it 200. Half, half three. Look, three. Hanging it 3 half. Hanging it 354. Hanging it 4, 5. Hanging it 5. Give me 5, 600. Look, 600. Half, 550. Hanging it 500. Half. Look, 500. 5 half. Jimmy Long, you're out. Hanging about 500. Half. 600. Half. 5, 650. Hanging here. Hanging here. 650. Look, 600. Half. Hanging in there and half. Here we go. Hanging about 600. Half. 5, 650. Already done. Hanging in here. 650. Sold it. $600. That's on 275, 275. It's always such a good event. All right, number 275, again, our friend Richard Thomas, huge supporter of our political action committee. Coconut Creek Pie from your current treasurer and past president from 2020, Marvin Dickman.
To the character Marvin Dickman and
Marvin, grab your pie.
Come on, Marvin, let's go. Hand down 100, 500 here too. 500 here too. 3, with 203, 4, 5, 400, 500, 450, 400, 4.5, last call, 400, 450, sold it $400. Right here, Josh. What's my number? 278, 278, 400, 278.
All right, up next, we have chocolate chip cookies, your 2004 past president, my buddy Rusty Cars. Rusty Cars, chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies, Rusty Cars, right here, hanging to be 100, hanging to be $100. 100 here too. 100, 500 here, 200, 4, being bruised 400. 314, 300, 400, 350 dollars. 300, last call, I had a bit 304. 200, 400, 450, 455, 500, 550, 550, 600, 600, 700 hard, 700, 700, give me 675, they're gonna be 675, it's 650, 675, home there, 675, they're gonna be 7 here and a half, it's $700 in here, $700 half man pony, it's 700 even man last, 675 bids, 700 in here, and 700 hard, so 675, but I'm on 275, thank you, 675.
All right, thank you, thank you. Coconut cream pie from your 2022 past president, Mr. Bruce Rashawn.
Yep, here. Kind of on a corner cafe, Bruce. Hand in here, hand here now. 100 and now 200 and a half here, 200 in here, and now 200 here, 50 got her, hand in here, 200 in here, and now 200, hand in here, here we go, hand down 200 in here, now 200, coconut pie, 3, and then 3 and a half, 350 boys, and 3 and a half, and 3 and a half, 300, 3 and a half, and then 3 and a half. On there, 3 and a quarter, it's 325. The last call, no, they're out. It's 3 and a quarter, it's 300. Hang in there, 20, 25, 325, 50. It's 350. Hang to be 75. Hang to be 75. Hang to be 75. It's 3 and a half. Hang in there, 375. Hang to be 350. To be 375. So we're 350. That goes your number, man. So you got one. Kingsville Livestock, 350.
Kingsville Livestock. All right, up next, your 2007 past president, Merle Breyer. This is a treat, folks. You can pretty much feed your whole table. You have mini pecan praline cakes. There are 6 of them. 6 mini cakes.
I'm gonna get we're on mobile. You get here and find him 100, 102, 500 and 200, 500 here too, 200, 500 here too. Get 6 of them guys for one shot, 100 there too, 100 here to there, half on here, half 150 $200, 200, I'm straight ahead, here to there, half 200 to 3, to be 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 half, out of it 3 to there, half, out of it 3 to there, half, 300, 3 and a half, out of it 3 to there, half, all done, out of it 300, half, here 350, sold on $300 right here. We don't have one either. Scott Steele, thank you very much, 300.
Just a reminder, you can get a bigger number right over here in the corner by the live auction section. All right. Your 2021 past president and the Mega Group NCAA Pals who made your meal tonight possible is Patty Wood. I don't know what kind of pie we got, Patty. All right, we have a Pacific Coast strawberry pie. It's got huckleberry, blueberry, strawberry, Maryberry. It is a gorgeous pie. If you haven't seen it, it is the prettiest pie here tonight. Here we go.
There we go. 100 half, $500, $600 on that. Here's $600. That's my way, boy. $600 on that. Here's $600. 550. We're $500 on that. We're $600 now. It's $650. Sure, like that. Here, you're gonna be happy. $600 salad. It's $700 on that. It's $750. $1,000. It's only going to be $1,100.
You're the lieutenant governor and candidate for Governor Mike Kehoe. All right, up next, our 2011 past president, Mr. Jimmy Long's got an apple pie to start. Do an apple pie.
I'm gonna hear down Jimmy Long right here in front. You got an apple pie right here down 102. 100 it'll be homemade. 200 and 300 and 400 and 500 and 600. 600 and 700 and there's 700 in here down here. It's 600, 700 in here down 600 Nancy, 7, 800, 900 and 1,000. 100 in here. 1,000 Nancy, 100 in here down 100 in here. 1,000 down 1,100 in here. Down 12. 100 down 12 and 12. It's 12. It's $1,100 the last call. $1,100 I've got him here, yes, sir. Well, sorry, 1,150, but I'm on number. Right here, 1,150. We've been a good supporter, Mike. 1,150.
Richard Thomas, 275. Thank you, Richard. All right, we're going to stick with Jimmy Long. He has 2 loaves of banana nut bread. You can choose 1 or 2.
On you look here, left one, Mike. He did not make it. Linda did. $100 in here, $100 here. On you look here, getting all of it one shot in here. $100 half here too. $800 half here. Nancy, you can buy these. I get them on 2. I get them in 2 and hard. $500 half here. Down 2 in here. 100 in 2. $100 half. Hanging in 2. Down 1 here. Down 250. 200 down. Half 1 here. Down 300 down 3. March to 3. Hanging in here and half. 300 down. Half 350. 300 down. Half here. Down 300 down 400 down 4. $400, $500, $600, $600 March here, $500 in here, $500, $600, $600 in here, $550, $500, $550, sold $500, Nancy. You don't have a number either, Mike.
It's Nancy. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Up next. All right, was Ricky track there. We have David Stick, your 2023 past president. Most recent past president with a delicious gooseberry pie.
I'm going to go here. You say gooseberry, David. Gooseberry pie, 100 half, and then 200 down, 3. 300 and 400 and 400 and 400 down, 400 half, now 500 in here, time 5. It's 455, going to be 500, 100 in here, time 5. It's $600 down here, down 500 and 600. It's 500 and 600 on there, 500 up there, $600. It's 550, going to be 500 down, 550, hold on, 550. Sold at 500, ma'am, and her number's 315, Mike, 500, 315.
All right, Rose Mascagel, thank you. All right, up next we have a pecan pie from the one and only Ben Eggers, 1993, past president.
Oh, there's there now, pecan pie right there now. The only one tonight. Handing in here now. There's Ben. Come on, big boy. Handing in there. 100 half two. 100 half here. 200 and 300 in here. 203. Docs and Lee. Handing in there. 400. 300. 300 and higher. You're 300. You get Josh. Handing on 3 there. 100 in here. It's 400 now. Docs out now. 400 now. It's 400. 450. It's 400 there. 500. 600 on that. It's 600 $600 down, 600, 550, 500, 600 down here, 650, 600 here, 500 here, all done, 600 here, that's all, 600 here, sold it, $600 in the number, 231, 231.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some.
Next, we have a chocolate pie from Jason McCann. your 2010 past president. His dad, Jim McKinnon, was also a past president. Unfortunately, passed away on this stuff. But this fight is in his memory as well. Jason McKinnon, 2010 past president, chocolate pie.
Here we go. 100, 200, 502. The one for the 200, just stay certain, 3, 300, now half, 350, well done. Here we go. Sold it $400.
That's my third year.
God.
Once you get me?
I get the
315, thank you. 315.
Okay, up next, Chuck Massengale. Where is Chuck? Hey, Chuck. Hey, it's Chuck Massengale. Strawberry rhubarb pie. 2013 past president here. I'm pleased to be a good pie.
Hey, strawberry rhubarb. Here, 200. Get in, guys. 300. Put 300. He's out. 300. Put 300. 400. 450 stir. 500 on the side. Put 4 to pass my way. 500. Put 4 to 500. Put 4 to 500. Already done. Last call. 500 on the 500. Stir price. Sold at 450. 450. The number is 232. Thank you. 232.
Representative Dean Bankscoy, thank you, Dean. All right, up next, cherry pie from Ronnie Duckworth, 2012 past president. Cherry pie.
Cherry pie. Here goes on Lonnie. 100 and 200 in here. 200. 200 cherry pie, guys. Let's go. 100 Let's turn on 550, 600, 500, 600, just half, and then 60, you know, maybe now, 650, in here, 700, now 700, now Hamilton there, now 700, 800, 800, now Hamilton there, now 800, here, bang, gonna be going, gonna be half, gonna be $1,000, 1,000 even money, 1,000, do you want to third, hang it out, man, hang it down, 10, $5,000, 10, 50 home here, and I'm going to get them home there, and I'm going to sold them $1,000, $275, 1,275. 275,
275, Richard Thomas. All right, 275. Up next, you're going to get to 2007 past president back to Merle McGuire. New Orleans, Brett Woody.
Hey, Brett Woody, back on mode.
You get that skill too, yeah.
500, 200. Good now, 500, 200, you step up there, 300, 300, 400, $550 way back there.
4 months.
59 days.
306, 306, thank you. 306. All right, then do
500, all right. Next, we have Butch Myers, your 2017 past president. He's represented by the better-looking half of that combo, Eileen Fire, with Germany from Colorado.
all of them here. 200, 300.
Last call, here we go. Three on flag. Let's again goes back together. All right, last tie of the night. This comes from their second ever female president of our association, Janet Akers, from 2015. She has a peach pie. This is not candy peaches. Here's our fresh Georgia peaches. Janet Akers. There's Janet a peach pie.
Money's getting donated to women.
All right, in Germany, we just had a record high house and some put their hands together for that. Thank you for your support. All right, we're going to move right along. Please calm down, quiet down, whatever that means. We're going to have a blessing over the food. We're going to get the food on time. All right, forward Vice President.
I know. But we didn't want to just sit there and look at it. It's already been. So,
to worship your sovereignty, to worship your protection, to worship you as our creator. Father, we do indeed love you. And Father, we that are part of your beef industry look to you and know you as the giver of life. You have brought forth amazing amounts of green forage this year out of acres and acres of ground that was unable to produce last year because of lack of water. And we know that you bring that water and you bring the living water. So Father God, help us to have a renewed interest in following you and to live for you, no matter who is in office or who is in authority over us. But Father, with that being said, we do pray for these elections, Father, the people that know you and care about your thoughts and care about agriculture are duly elected. So Father, we thank you, and we thank you for your Son, Jesus, and the opportunity to have salvation through him. It's in your Son's name we pray, and we thank you for the food that you will bless us with tonight as well. Amen.
All right, thank you. Your feedback's approved, represented by Lafayette County, Johnson County, back there, Benton County, a whole bunch of folks I'm not going to mention. They work hard today to make this possible. Our beef house during the state fair is a must go to, and this crew, you're going to meet that food line is some of the best, and they work really hard to make it happen. So what we're going to do now, if you know you have a speaking role tonight, you want to go ahead and enter tonight, you can do that. So if you know you're going to be speaking here in a little bit, and you want to go ahead and get that line, please do so. Then, after that, we're going to do our prime sponsors. So, Cattlemen, Montgomery Cattlemen, the Carpenters, the Gibbs Group, the Zurich Store, Soybeans, and CFM Insurance. Go ahead and get it in that time. Follow the choice sponsors, Cattlemen National Stockyard. Our sponsors that bring history and FCL Financial is a real pet breeders.
I understand. All right. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Fire here, I got firefighting.
Different workmen.
I think it's going to be my favorite.
County Cattlemen. So the accents. They consider Putnam. Franklin County Cattlemen. Junction County Cattlemen. Our Democrats. RNS. Lafayette County Cattlemen. Oh, certification. County Cattlemen. Please go ahead and sit back on your time. Remember the silent auction closes.
I need to go.
Please get with that time. You have a ton of great items donated by the Church Group. When you look through, looking at the silent auction, don't forget to look at donated by. And I'm sure to appreciate those who donated those items. Also, you will have raffles, the $20 raffle. You can spend on the public and treasury chest. You can see the amount of money. That is only 2 fees unlocked the treasury chest. There's also a $10 raffle. That's good for 2 concert tickets. One, at the Missouri State Fair. 2 additional tickets. And 3 tickets on the road.
Nicole was my angel for 1997. He likes it. Well, she's got that. Yeah, and he's in terrible health. I don't think he's going to live this long. Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but they don't think he yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
And our members. And also helping out, as always, the Missouri Cattlemen Association. A great partner, your president, on support, and I see
I saw it coming in. I was like, oh, okay. We're talking about it.
Yeah, and she helped her out ton. So
I did.
thank you so much. I texted her earlier.
I texted Julie a couple times.
Yeah, it's a tough service.
I heard she had school in her elbow.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And me too, though.
Nice. Here's the same. Yeah. You gotta feel long way. Steve Barnes walked in the other talk. Lindsay, I said, hey, how's Jill doing? He goes, she heard the daughter, and he goes, oh, she's pretty good. And I go, dude, I've read about it, heard about that. And he goes, he looks at me, he's in trauma surgery. He goes, it's bad.
Well, no. Oh, yeah.
Well, he said, he goes, what he said to me would make sense. He goes, obviously, a lot of people make this look bad. He goes,
That's what he
this is in my sleep because I saw this accident and like freaking out.
When he called me, said she's on the helicopter. I read it. It's the, he got it.
Everybody called it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm our best and brightest.
I know.
That is one of his pet peeves.
So, split it away. I don't know.
Let's put our shit down.
So this is the other side of the table.
I'll go see Greg.
Right here. Hello. Ready?
I'm good. You think I can rearrange this?
I don't have any clue. Mistake. Hey, again. And you were saying so. And okay, I thought it said New York. Hey, okay. We're going to Kansas City, Missouri. You know, the original. The city was around before the state. I'm close. Yeah. Thank you. Your help.
We're not quite.
We're at the same time.
Come up with there's a 440 store. I think that's it. Actually, I can go with that. Okay. I don't want to follow after.
I'm with Brad.
Like they did. You know what I mean? All right.
It still works. I was surprised. Batteries.
Good to see you guys. You bet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Rusty. What? Yeah. But you have to like get in a line. Last one.
What?
Yeah, take like and Cattlemen will have a whole bunch. I used to get it in the last few weeks. I cannot select. Lost? I'm good. Which one's the hard? Like a bad video.
I encourage you to check out my mouth for your third job. Buy that book, you'll catch you later and probably sign it for you. So be sure to buy the book.
Thanks for the same drop. So the fact that yes, I'll take you. Yep. Have a smart. Wyoming. How's he going to do? Or lockdown. Especially run it. Synchronize, then hope synchronize, then get out. Delivery man, anything out there. Come down to teach you. Really?
Adam will check your pride. Like for him, I think I said. I mean, they didn't say that. Yep. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting ready to be a lot better. Well, so don't worry again. For the most part, yeah, I will be there on Monday. All right, sir. Are you? The Kansas City strip steak, potato. I gotta stop talking about it. I already know I'm better.
Again, those travel tickets for good for 2 admission tickets, 2 concerts and tours, and 2 check-ins all during the we're going to draw
It's serious. I got it on as soon as I said. I think it's about I got doctor. Oh, you got a wreck. You don't know. And so we're skipping the dough. Well, today's are looking forward to it. That's awesome.
Going home, folks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was too busy texting. Oh, there's a line here, there's a line there. You got your tickets? I got tickets. Yeah. Come later, take your tickets if you want to.
Again, that $10 raffle is back by the exit sign to where the entrance to the bathrooms are in the very back there, next to Bailey display. Andrew Bailey for Attorney General, all the way back there.
How are you?
Great, Phil.
What am I doing?
It's awesome. Wow. That's why you and others. CSU. Yeah, you're the building chief.
Hey, are you? Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Hi. How are you doing? Yes, sir. I did the same thing with my it's mine is really long. Yeah. Yeah, might as well. It's up here.
Silent auction closes at 7:30. Tons and tons of great items donated by supporters, partners, county affiliates, and so forth. Be sure to look at that donated by on the sheet so you know who donated those items. Again, that's the silent auction closes at 7:30. Tons of great stuff over there. The biggest silent auction we've ever had.
I shall be my keynote. Where you guys from? Pretty good. Doyle manufacturing this one. Remember Doyle? Oh, you're kidding. So I went through there about a year ago. And then
All right. You want to bring out that basket for the $10 raffle. We're going to go ahead and draw for that. So you have a blue ticket. A blue ticket. If you purchase a $10 raffle ticket, again, you're going to win 2 concert tickets of your choice. You can pick any one you want. Ludacris, whoever that is, Tracy Lawrence, Alabama, so forth. You're going to shake them up in here, so please get people losing. We're going to shake them up. And make sure we smell the alcohol. Oh, yeah. I care to get him to when he's talking. He's sitting over there, he's got a blue shirt, he's and he's running for Kansas State. He'll give a link. You think we can hear the video too? I mean, great for the footage. Sure, yeah. It's just gonna go up there on stage. Yeah, he'll be up on stage. Oh yeah, I'll get every person he talks on stage. Okay. Thanks, man. Hey, please follow that lady. Those concert tickets for please.
I'll take it.
Make sure you get that guy and Bonker and Lincoln.
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Okay. This bag is coming in soft.
Well, we were still in the line to park and we started the program and the speakers and stuff here in about 5 minutes. So we're going to be running along. I know you're still on the boot line, so when people are speaking, so that you can respect, even though you're in the boot line, you're listening to them and what they have to say. So we're going to get started with that in about 5 minutes.
Hi.
You're home top out. Is you cold start? 90% of the time. It's a couple of Oh. Part of this will grow this time, or a little bit of okay. It's a good true strategy. I'm only thinking wildlife for the first part. But stop. Drop the hooks and you make you just need to find speeding.
They took it back there and they
No, he was right. I haven't seen you nice here.
No, that came thrown out. Okay, I'll use it here. Okay. No. There is. Sam, you're not ready. Sam, do you want any corn?
We have a ton of legislators here tonight. It's absolutely impossible to mention all of them, but I do want to give a shout out to our House members, both Democrats and Republicans here. If you're a member of the House, stand up, wave your hand, be recognized. If they are here, they matter to us, period. Get to know them, visit with them, tell them your issues. If they are here, they are with you, and we're with them. All right, we have several senators here as well. But if you're a member of the Missouri Senate, stand up, make some noise, raise your hand. We've got several state senators here tonight. So appreciate their leadership, appreciate what they've been able to accomplish, even though some have not been so willing to work with it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But thank you. If you're here, we like you. All right. We are going to go ahead and start our speakers and go on down that list. So again, I know you're eating, I know you're in the food line, but please show some respect and please listen to these candidates. They're going to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to start out with the Secretary of State's race. It has about, 800 or so people running in that race. I'm just kidding. There are 8 people, I believe, running in that race. We happen to have 3 of them here, all great people, good individuals. We're going to start out with Adam Schwadron. I hope I pronounced that right. He's a current House member, a good friend of mine personally, a good leader in the House of Representatives, and somebody that we can certainly trust. And start out with Adam. So, Adam, come on out.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I don't expect much of a response because I expect you all to be eating that delicious steak, and I can't wait to get mine. So that's why I'm glad I'm first up here. Just want to welcome you all tonight. My name is Adam Schwadron. I know that last name is a mouthful. So if you just say Schwadron, you got my last name. And as Mike said, I'm a state representative from St. Charles and running for Secretary of State. And real quick, I just want to introduce myself to you, say hello, and give you a little bit about my platform. If any of you have any questions, please come up to me. I will happily give you my personal cell phone number so you can ask questions after tonight. But one of the big things about me is I will push back against government intrusion in our lives. The federal government does not belong in our state elections. And so in 2021, when the Democrats introduced legislation to try and federalize our elections, I wrote the Missouri Election Sovereignty Act. And basically that tells the federal government that our elections in Missouri are ours to run. And any attempt by them to come in here and tell us how to do it will be met with resistance. And as you might be able to see, I'm a big guy. I have a size 15, and I use that to personally kick them out of this state who they try to take. So I'll make it brief because, like I said, you all are eating. Please come up to me, ask any questions. I'm a big believer in personal rights, in your property rights, and I will defend that all day, every day. Thank you all very much.
All right, thank you, Adam. Certainly appreciate you. Up next is Shane Scholler from Southwest Missouri, a good friend of the Cattlemen's when he was an elected leader, always someone that we could count on. a good person. In fact, I don't think you'll meet someone nicer. Shane, come on up.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here this evening. It's great to be a cattleman. My grandfather over in Kansas, he was a cattleman and a wheat farmer. And so some of my best memories were spending time with him on the farm. And my dad decided to move over to the Ozarks, and he was a carpenter. So I grew up down in Taney County. And I now serve as the county clerk in Greene County, Missouri, the only election authority running this race. And it's extremely important to me that every time you cast your vote, you know your vote is protected. Those aren't just words for me. My very first election as county clerk, we had somebody who decided they were going to vote twice. And you know what I did? I took that information to our sheriff. Our sheriff did the investigation. They admitted they voted twice, and they were held accountable. It's important that we protect your vote every time you cast your ballot, and that's what I intend to do if I'm elected as your next Secretary of State. It's also important that we be transparent. That's one of the things that I've done as your county clerk, is I work hard to make sure that if you've got questions, we give you the information. Matter of fact, in 2022, I was named a Sunshine Hero by the Missouri Sunshine Coalition because it's your government. You should have access to the information when you need it, and that's exactly what I've done as county clerk for the citizens of Greene County when they have questions. And that's what we need in Jefferson City, is we need people who are open, transparent, and willing to be held accountable. And that's one of the best things about our election, is the accountability. You know, every time you go to cast your ballot, you want a bipartisan team, one Republican, one Democrat leading you. And that's extremely important in terms of the integrity of the election. And I have fought to do that in Greene County. I fought to do that in election integrity bill to make it easier so that Republicans and Democrats can be there together to make sure that the election is being run transparently and fairly. And that's what I would do as your Secretary of State, is to make sure we get that done for you. I have the experience, I have the knowledge, but I also have the passion. Because you know what, at the end of the day, it's what every one of you do. It's about serving others. That was what I ran on when I ran for the legislature, was working to serve you. That's what you do as a county clerk, is you serve the city of the county. And that's what we need in Jefferson City, is people who are willing to serve those around them. And that's what I plan to do for you, Secretary of State, is work hard and serve you every time you cast your ballot, every time you come to open up your business, every time you invest your hard-earned dollars. I'm going to be there to serve you and help you. Thank you so much. It's great to be this evening. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you, Shane Solar. Up next will be Dean Blocker, also running for Secretary of State. Dean Blocker is your current Speaker of the House, has funneled through many priorities for our association over the years, and a good friend as well. Dean, you're up.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me again. I think I've been here 8 years now. I want to thank the Cattlemen for their endorsement for all of those 8 years. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to work with you all. Again, I'm Dean Blocker. I'm the Speaker of the House, and I'm running for Secretary of State. I just want to brag on a little of the reps that are here today, because the Missouri House of Representatives clearly has agriculture in the cattlemen's back. The House passed Curtis Gregory's Farm Bureau insurance bill this year. Didn't make it in the Senate, but a great bill. Again, helps you get insurance. David Griffith's omnibus veterans bill for veteran suicide. Missouri's number 6, I believe, in the country for most veterans that live here. We got to stand up for them. Dane Deal, Roundup protection bill. We all like glyphosate. I know you use a lot of it. It didn't pass the Senate, but it's a good bill. We've always been practicing and helping protect private property rights, prohibiting the use of eminent domain in a malicious way. So we've worked on that again. We passed Phil Amato's anti-squatters bill. We don't want squatters coming into this state and taking our property. Let's see, in the budget, all right, so it was good year in the budget. How many like black vultures? Well, I don't. We passed the black vulture mitigation program to keep those black vultures south of the border. And we passed the processing facility at the University of Missouri so we can keep the value of cattle in Missouri and not send the feeder cattle and finishing them in other states. That's huge. Along with last year, we passed the Vet Diagnostic Center so our cattle can stay healthy. Well, listen, I know my time's short, but I want to tell everybody I have about 3 things that I think utterly need working on. One, we got to watch illegal immigration. Your House of Representatives and the Senate passed a bill this year that sent Missouri troops to the border. 10 million illegal immigrants across the border in the last 4 years. That's 10 million too many. We're doing everything we can to keep those illegal immigrants on the other side of the border. And we also must mandate, as running for Secretary of State, as we did, ranked choice voting. I do not like ranked choice voting. That'll go to the polls here in August and November. I advocate to vote for the bill. It's an anti-ranked choice voting bill where it says only citizens of Missouri should be able to vote. That's important. Number two, voter integrity. We must make it easy to vote, but hard to cheat. Got to pass voter integrity more and make sure that our protections are protected. Elections, rather. And then finally, I've carried the IP reform bill. We tried to get that across the line. Again, that died on the other side of the building. But we must continue to protect Missouri from liberal out-of-state interest in those wacko environmental groups that are trying to affect our streams and everything else. And as your Secretary of State, I will work hard to do that. Again, I'm Dean Flocker. I greatly appreciate and honored to ask for your vote as Secretary of State. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, a candidate for State Treasurer, Mr. Cody Smith from Southwest Missouri, understands our industry. He's the budget chair in the House and has worked hard to make sure that agriculture gets their fair shake when it comes to the budgeting process. A great friend of the Cattlemen's Association, has been previously endorsed in the past as well. Thank you, Cody.
Good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Cody Smith, and I'm running for Missouri State Treasurer. I'm a lifelong Missouri resident, lifelong Southwest Missouri resident. I live in Carthage with my wife, Janet, and our son, Charlie, who are here with me tonight. I've served, professionally, I started my career in the banking business and went to the family-owned real estate and auction company. Still hold my realtor's license today. And I've served for the last 8 years in the Missouri House of Representatives. And for 6 of those years, I've served as the House Budget Committee Chairman, as Mike said. And during that time, I've had success with maintaining that leadership role, making sure that the state's budget is balanced, that we're living within our means as a state government. Been able to completely eliminate the state's general obligation debt, and I've been able to cut taxes. Probably the highlight of my legislative career so far has been passing the single biggest tax cut in Missouri state history. And I've been able to do those things and maintain one of the most conservative voting records in the Missouri General Assembly. I think Mike and the folks that tell you that work for you in Jefferson City would tell you that my record is 100% pro rancher and farmer. Property rights are very important to me, and I know they all are to you as well. And so I'd like to take that experience and that record now to the Office of State Treasurer. I believe that Missourians are looking for a steady hand, a proven conservative to operate and protect the state treasury, to protect taxpayers and advocate for their interests and protect their taxpayer dollars from waste, fraud, and abuse. So again, my name is Cody Smith, running for Missouri State Treasurer. You can find more about me at my website, which is codyformissouri.org. And I'd be honored to have your support on August 6th. I'm asking for your vote. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Cody. A reminder, the $20 raffle, the keys are still available. I don't think anyone's unlocked that lock yet, so go back there and please do that. All right, so when we endorse a candidate, they get to speak. Other people do not. But we made an exception because we've endorsed in the primary, not in the general. And we have a good person who is running on the other side of the aisle, the Democrat Party, who is a personal friend of mine. You've gotten to know her very well over the last year. Somebody who you will like the moment that you meet her. And she is running for governor on the Democrat side of the ticket, Crystal Quaid.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be with you this evening. And obviously, I know that everyone in this room is backing the gentleman, Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe. And I want to say that Mike and I have a great working relationship, and I definitely understand where y'all are at in this room. But I am so happy to be standing in front of you to tell you a little bit about myself and who I am and why I'm with y'all tonight. So my name is Crystal Quaid. I am the Democratic leader in the Missouri House of Representatives, and I've been serving there for the last 8 years. I grew up in rural Southwest Missouri in a small community called Fordland, if anyone's familiar with that. And I come from a family, we were not a farming family, we pretended to be farmers, as I like to say. We lived next door to a lot of cattle ranchers, but we grew up in gravel roads. My mom was a waitress, and in fact, she's still a waitress today. And my dad drove over an hour to get to the factory every day to work. I'm the very first in my family to graduate from high school. And I went on to Springfield to go to Missouri State University to become a social worker. And I got involved in government because when I got to school, I realized everything I wanted to do to help folks was dictated by government. And my family was not one that watched the news or read the paper often. And so I decided to do my internship in Jefferson City. And I know a lot of you in this room sometimes spend some time up in Jeff City, and you have fabulous people who go there and work on your behalf. But when I got there as a young person, you know, I went into this beautiful building thinking that these people with their fancy suits and their gold pins would really understand what regular life was like for working class families like mine. And when I got there, I was kind of slapped in the face and felt like I walked into this space where people really didn't understand what regular working class folks went through. I heard a lot of talk about things that were filled with disdain and disgust around families like mine. And so in that moment, I decided I'm going to run for office one day. And so that's what I did. I've been serving since 2016. And I'm proud to say that since I've been here, we've been coming to y'all's dinner, getting to know you guys. There's a group of Democrats over there, and I have to give them a huge shout out. The time that we've spent together over the last 8 years, building some relationships and finding common ground on working on issues has been great. I'm jumping into this governor's race because I believe that families like mine who have to work extra shifts today have children who deserve to beat the odds tomorrow. And we need to do a great job in our state of investing in our rural communities, making sure that every kiddo has the opportunities to succeed. So it's a pleasure to get to meet you guys. Again, my name is Crystal Quaid, and it's such an honor to get to say hello. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Crystal. Again, the silent auction closes at 7:30. We're going to move down to the lieutenant governor race. We have one candidate here today. We happen to already have endorsed in that race. We have one of our own running for lieutenant governor, a cattle producer, somebody who has led priority issues for this association, fought for private property rights, and pushed against any effort by any party to have any type of pervasive invasion of private property rights. Somebody who led the largest tax cut in the state's history. That is your candidate, our choice for Lieutenant Governor Lincoln Huff.
Yeah, you never know, when Mike Deering has the microphone, you never know exactly what's going to happen. So Mike, one, thanks for the introduction. Two, thanks for the opportunity to be here this evening with you all. And three, thanks for being one of the first commodity groups in this state that came out and endorsed our candidacy for lieutenant governor. I don't think that you did that because of the fact that I'm a first-generation cattleman. I think you did that because our record in Jefferson City speaks for itself. You mentioned the tax cut, you mentioned property rights. Folks, it has been my honor, quite frankly, to work with the administration that Mike Parson has led this state with for the last 6 years and the priorities that he has had around workforce development and infrastructure improvements. And I know the big ticket item is I-70 and almost $3 billion, but folks, how about the hundreds of millions of dollars that this administration has pumped into rural roads, our farm to market roads that move all of our products that are moving hay and grain right now all over this state. And that's the leader we have. That's the guy that I've been fortunate enough to work with. I know he's going to speak here in a little bit, and I'm going to be brief because in the Senate, we're real bad about just talking and talking and talking. I just want you to know the reason I'm doing this are three little guys that are sitting right over there. Because that's the next generation in this state. And we have been fortunate, I mentioned I'm a first generation cattleman, we've been fortunate enough to build this thing from nothing. And if any one of those guys wants to get involved in the farm, I want to be behind them with a bucket of dynamite. And if they want to go off to Raleigh, become an engineer, and go build the next space station, I'm in. All I want is for them to have the opportunities that I've had, and that's what leads me to do this job. So I'm Lincoln Huff. I'm your endorsed candidate for Lieutenant Governor. And guys, it is my pleasure to be in front of a bunch of cattlemen this evening. So thank you for your support and thank you for what you're doing.
Even though he forgot, he is running for lieutenant governor, so mark that down. He gave me a hard time for messing up the other night on his intro, so I'm going to give him a hard time as well. All right, we are now going to move into your current elected leaders. representing the state, working for you day in and day out. We're going to start with your state treasurer, a guy I've gotten to know over the past year that was appointed by Governor Mike Carson, somebody who I could not pronounce his name and still can't very well, but I'm going to try, Vivek Malik. He is one of the most inspiring people that you're ever going to meet. His story and how he got here to America is proof that the American dream is alive and well. Showing up from India with a pocket full of cash, and it wasn't very much. And he worked hard and made a difference and made a living out of himself and support his family. A true leader. I understand fully why Governor Mike Carson appointed this man to be your state treasurer. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Vivek Malik.
Good evening, Cattlemen. How are you tonight? Well, you said it right. My name is a little hard, but I'll give you a clue. It is Vivek rhyming like cake. So it's Vivek like in cake. And Malik like in Calic. It is an honor and a privilege of my lifetime to serve as your 48th state treasurer. And I'm grateful for this opportunity that was bestowed upon me by my dear friend and our great governor, Mike Carson. When I first met him in 2014, he was in the state senate. And when he took the office of governor, I knew our state was in great hands, stable hands, which will give the direction, the vision to the state where we need to be. So we share Missouri values here of hard work, freedom, faith, and family. But those are under attack today. And as treasurer, I look out of the window from my office. Two things concern me. One is Biden's inflation. And second, the illegal border we have. The open borders through which all these people are coming from, we do not know who they are. Because that is a slap on a person's face like me, who took 16 years to do it the legal way, the right way. We are a nation of laws and rules, and that's how we want to maintain it for the next generation, for my three kids who are 13, 11, and 7, who I tell every day how lucky they are to be growing up on the greatest country on the planet. In Missouri, we are on the right track, but we need to keep it that way. We don't want to be like the federal government, where the debt is at $34 trillion, where GDP is only 28. The federal government borrows money $1 trillion every 100 days. And right now, the interest that they are paying on it is more than our defense budget. I am glad that we were in safe hands in the good direction of our governor and the good minds that sit in the Senate and the legislature. So when I took office, I did not know anything what to do, but I said, I'm going to govern through my 3 Ps: protecting taxpayers' dollars, providing opportunities, and promoting the promise of America. I have done all those 3 in my 16 months in the office. I brought in my office under budget in the first year. I expanded the MOBUX program so that our farmers can get all the help they need to sustain through the drought season that they faced last year, and all the help they can get to make sure that their crops, their hay, their cattle is safe and they are prospering. This year, I'm glad to tell you that we will have $400 million in MOBUX again, which Governor Parsons signed just 15 days ago, and we will be putting that out in August for farmers and small businesses who keep the economic engine in the state running and keep the food coming to our tables. So I'm very proud of that record. Again, one more thing, please. I am sitting on $1.5 billion of your money. That is not state's money. So please open up your cell phones while you're sitting here and check your unclaimed money. go to showmemoney.com and I would be happy to write a check and send it your way. So please go to showmemoney.com. I'm glad to be a state treasurer and wish to continue the same job with zeal and enthusiasm that I have. So thank you very much for trusting in me. God bless you. God bless our great state. And God bless the USA.
Thank you very much. All right, before we move into the next speaker, we have a special guest here that I want just to stand up and introduce. Your Director of Agriculture, Ms. Chris Chen, standing here next to the governor, has been a great Director of Agriculture for our state. If you don't know her, you're missing out. Also, as you know, it is statewide that speak that everybody in this room can vote for. But I did want to give a shout out in the 3rd congressional race. We have an individual here running for that to replace Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer. Kurt Schaefer, if you're around, wave your hand. Kurt is here somewhere, but get to know Kurt Schaefer. He's back there on the door there. Really appreciate Kurt being here. Up next is another statewide leader appointed by your governor, and another statewide leader endorsed by this association. In his short time as Attorney General, he has pushed back on government overreach like we have never seen before. Whether it's the waters of the United States, where the federal government's trying to claim that they have the rights over every little drop of water from a farm pond to a dry creek, he pushed back on the Biden administration and said, oh, hell no. Ladies and gentlemen, not just that, on eminent domain, he has put his foot in on that and on the Greenbelt Express, making sure that your private property rights are respected, that no private company should be able to come to Missouri and take private land for private gain. You have a veteran and you have a fighter in Andrew Bailey, ladies and gentlemen, our endorsed candidate, your Attorney General, Andrew Bailey.
Thank you all so much. I want to start by thanking Governor Parson for having faith and confidence in me to appoint me to this position. A kid from Montgomery County who had served as an assistant prosecutor, a parent, a Christian, a patriot, and I just want to thank the governor for putting his faith in me. And I hope to carry on his legacy of excellence in everything that I do for this state for the next term, and I'm grateful. I want to thank my wife, Jessica, for being here with me tonight. She's wrestling 3 of our 4 children, so it's actually a lot easier than having 4 here with us. We've only got 3, so she's doing a great job. I couldn't do it without you, babe. I appreciate you. It's been 18 months that we've been in office, that I've been on the campaign trail, and having my family's support and backing means the world to me. Just like Lincoln Huff said, I do this for my kids, for your kids, for your grandkids. I grew up in Missouri and enjoyed a legacy of freedom, safety, and prosperity. And if we don't fight for those things, we won't get to hand them down to the next generation. Every morning I get up and take my kids to the bus stop. And it's that time I get to spend with them before I drive to Jeff City or St. Louis or Springfield or Kansas City or Southeast Missouri. And I get to spend a little time with my kids and remind myself why I do this job. And it's to fight for our freedom, our safety, and our prosperity. Now listen, folks, this is the Show Me State. Results matter. I want you to grade me on the work I've done over the past 18 months. I don't want you to gamble on a politician. I want you to support Andrew Bailey because we stopped the Waters United States rule in its tracks, dead in its tracks, 45 days after I took office. I'm not going to let Joe Biden destroy agriculture in the state of Missouri, not on my watch. We removed the Soros-backed prosecutor in the city of St. Louis that was refusing to do her job, and we've increased criminal prosecution by 133%. It is hard to bring kids home to the family farm if we don't have communities to support them. I am proud of the work we've done to stop Joe Biden's attack on agriculture, to increase criminal prosecution and improve safety in the state of Missouri, and we're not done yet. I'm proud to announce that just a few weeks ago, we won the first lawsuit in this nation's history against the Biden administration to force him to build President Trump's border wall. Missouri led that suit. Missouri won. We're fighting and winning at our southern border. Those are wins that we put on the board. And just recently, it was a privilege to get to enter a lawsuit, to intervene, to stop a Wall Street billionaire from trying to take what isn't his. Take Missouri farmland to run power lines through it to benefit folks on the East and West Coast. Those Wall Street billionaires aren't here to help you and me. They are not here to help Missourians. They're here to help themselves get even richer. And I am proud to stand with my friends in Monroe County to fight back with the legal mechanisms of the state of Missouri to protect private property rights against Wall Street billionaires who want to come into Missouri and take what isn't theirs. I am so proud to have the endorsement of this association. The Cattlemen came in early for me, and I owe you a debt of gratitude. It is support and friendship that I will never forget. I am proud to stand with you in the trenches in the fight against Joe Biden and his overactive EPA. I'm proud to stand with you in the fight against Wall Street billionaires that want to come to Missouri and take what isn't theirs. I need you to stand with me. In my race, we're up against another Wall Street billionaire who is from New York City and wants to buy a political office in Missouri. And I'm asking you to vote Andrew Bailey on August 6th and send a message to Wall Street that Missouri's not for sale. Missouri's not for sale. Vote Bailey on August 6th and let's keep fighting and winning for Missouri. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.
He said Montgomery City, not New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, your Attorney General, Andrew Bailey.
Good job, General.
So we have a process within our association on how endorsements work. So the policy committee meets, they review, they conduct these interviews and decide who they want. And then they recommend that to the board of directors, and that must be ratified by an 80% vote or more of the full board. Well, with this next elected leader, it didn't happen that way. It was 2 years ago, we were sitting in a board meeting and someone stands up and says, I move we endorse Mike Kehoe for governor. And I thought, okay. Well, it passed unanimously because you have a leader in Mike Kehoe that has stood with you in the Senate as lieutenant governor and has been one of you for 20 years. He's been a cattle producer and a member of this association for more than 2 decades. We know him, we're loyal to him, he understands our issues, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why 2 years ago, we became the first association to say, we're gonna start now, we're fighting a big name, and that's all he's got. And then we got another guy in the Senate who likes to stand up and yell and call people names and just be a total jerk. That's your candidates. You have one. Yeah, go ahead and make some noise for that. We have a gentleman, we have a statesman, we have somebody who will fight for you and not be a jerk about it. We have somebody who will work across the aisle, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, and get things done. He's the only candidate who has demonstrated that he actually knows how to be a governor, knows how to govern, and not just stand up on the chair and yell and scream and make a fool of himself. He is a cattle producer, he is a personal friend of mine, and a personal friend of yours. And ladies and gentlemen, he better be your next governor, Mike Kehoe.
Thank you. Thank you. Please. I've always been told that standing ovations are a way for people to sneak out the door. I'm not sure how you follow Mike Deering, but I do hear a common thread in his logic on why you should elect me is the same as Claudia Kehoe's logic. Mike's not that good, but the other guys are horrible. And so Deering has been listening to Claudia too much. It's just a pleasure to be around, really, to what Claudia and I are like. Many people in here are like family to us. I think you know that. We've been a member of this association and come to this event a long time. You were the first organization to endorse me. I've said to you many, many times since then how incredibly humbling that is to do that, to receive that as a first generation farmer. First, I thought you guys might have had stayed out too late for cocktail hour or something, but I was very humbled to be able to receive the very first endorsement for this journey from myself and this organization. As you can see, we have this little van outside wrapped with a name on it. We've been hitting it hard. I want to just give you a quick update.
and then get on to the guy you really want to hear from. We've been traveling the state in the bus, doing a bus tour, going to rural Missouri from one end of the state to the other. And I will tell you, the reception has been unbelievably good. Yesterday in Buffalo, Missouri, Sandy Crawford, I know she's here somewhere, right there, my favorite senator. Sorry to all you other guys. Sandy and John have, 5 hours notice. Get some people together at Wood's Supermarket in Buffalo, Missouri. Bang, 30-some people standing there in the heat listening to our message. It's just unbelievably humbling to see what's happening. I can name them off: Webster County, we were Rawls County Electric last week, Monroe City. It's just been unbelievable, and the response has been unbelievable because people want somebody who has a little bit of common sense, who understands how to govern, somebody who's run a business before that understands how to build a relationship and what it takes to move Missouri forward. And yesterday, we had an event in Springfield, Missouri, at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, the new Wilson Arena, which is a beautiful arena. And I thought, this is not a good idea, because if you have this little crowd, this huge arena, it's going to look like nobody's here. So we have a Women for Keogh event, one of our 3 coalitions. We have Farmers and Ranchers for Keogh, led by Charlie Cruz and Kathy Chin, you know them. We have a Veterans for Keogh, led by one of the only female Major Generals in the Air Force, Cassie Strong. And then we have a Women's for Keogh event, led by Patty Borders down in Poplar Bluff, who's a cattle producer herself, and Jeanette Printer up in Kansas City. We had this Women for Keogh event in Springfield yesterday. And I'm thinking, this is really bad. This place is too big. The crowd's not going to be that good. We walk in, 250 women screaming, not at me, actually, which is normally what happens with 3 girls and a wife. It was the most humbling thing I've been to on this campaign trail, and I'll tell you, it literally got emotional to me. It was just unbelievable. And tonight, we brought a few goodies from a Women for Keogh event. We've got some folks going to come out and give Women for Keogh shirts out if you want. We're going to throw them to you. We're going to take them. We hope you'll take them and wear them with pride. And we'd love you to sign up in the Women for Keogh effort. Listen, I hear Governor Parson say this all the time. For years, he's been saying it, not just in this cycle. When somebody says they want you to vote for them, ask them what they're going to do for you, which is a legitimate question. It's lost often in politics. And I just wanted to let you know the things that people are resonating with are our 4 pillars of what we're going to do when we get into office. Should I be humble enough to receive Missourians' votes to get there? Number 1 is crime. Crime in our cities and our state has to be kept under control. We said we're going to be the most police-friendly state in the union. We're going to bring back the funding to these police departments and law and order and give the men and women who are keeping our community safe the resources they need to do that. And going along with that, you've heard from Vivek Malik and Andrew Bailey. The border crisis is absolutely fueling our crime controls. I've been to the border twice, once with a National Guard unit, once with a Highway Patrol unit. And I'm telling you, the amount of fentanyl and bad things coming across that border is coming in truckloads. You don't have to have real estate with Mexico to be a border state. Every state is a border state. And last year alone, Missouri spent over $460 million on illegal aliens here. That's money we could have spent on our veterans, on teachers, or quite frankly, money back in your pocket. So we've got to work. We hope we have a change at the federal level to stop this crazy immigration. If we don't, we're going to do what Governor Parson has done. We're going to support Governor Abbott. We're going to get that border locked down. Education is number 2 on our list. Lots of opportunities. I've talked to lots of people in this area. We've done great things on workforce development. It goes hand in glove with education, making sure we know what our young men and ladies want to do, giving them that career and technical training at community college or a 4-year college to get done what they need to do to stay in Missouri and work with the employers in that area to train them for the jobs they want to do. So education is a huge issue we're working on. Economic development, I think everybody knows that I'm a salesman. Several people have said to me, what kind of salesman are you? And I said, well, we sell first on race day, Fords. But we also sell the state of Missouri. The only place I've ever lived or worked, and I would love to be able to continue to provide some economic development opportunities for our state. And number 4, last but not least, is agriculture. Everybody in this room understands what that business is about. I've learned it from the ground up, but we have some incredible opportunities in this state. And I'm glad Mike and Chris are here because these two, along with economic developers, county coordinators, our task force that we have that Christian sits on, we're smart enough and good enough to land the first large-scale processing plant Missouri's ever had in Warren County, and that plant will be up and running in July of 2025, and that's what you call value added. So those are our messages. Common sense leadership, as Mike said, I'm not a streamer. I'm not the hand grenade thrower. If you want that person, you have to vote for somebody else. I'm somebody who's going to work with you no matter what your position is to try to figure out a way to get to a common sense conservative solution. It's the way my mother raised me. That's who I am. That's who I'm always going to be. But tonight, I really wanted you to give a big Cattlemen's welcome to your speaker that you have backed for years and years and years. I think he's a friend to everybody in this crowd as well. He's definitely a friend to agriculture. I have known Mike Parson for many years, since even before the state senate, when he was in the House, served in the Senate, lieutenant governor, and now as your governor. He has taken over Missouri at a time when things weren't just easy, right? Droughts and floods and all, tornadoes, little thing called COVID-19. Lots of things that Mike Parson has had to lead our state through with those common sense rural values that he has been born and raised with, and understands what the people in this room believe, and that's the guidance he's used to run Missouri. And he has done a fantastic job, always with a servant's heart, always with Teresa at his side, and doing things that is right for Missouri, even when it isn't popular in some of the media outlets. That's the kind of person you want leading your state. I would love you to help me welcome your 57th governor, a fellow cattle producer, Governor Mike Parson.
Thank you very much. Sit down, please. Sit down, sit down. Well, I'm Mike Parson, and I'm running home. That's where I'm going. Let me say that right now. I'm looking forward to it. Man, I was out the farm today, fooling around for combine, getting ready equipment for hay like all you guys are. And some of you are cutting hay, but I do look forward to get back to that home where I love being. To be there and everything. And tonight I was trying to think my last 21st, is this the 21st annual event? The 21st, I think, 21st annual event will be my last as governor that I'll get to speak to all of you tonight. So I was trying to think, what will I say? So some of you may be hoping I'm going to do what Elizabeth Taylor told her 7 husbands. I won't be keeping you long. But I'm going to keep you here till I take a notion, as I tell my grandkids to get off this stage tonight. There's a lot of thanks I want to say, a lot of people I owe a lot to, and so many friends in this room tonight that I'm sure I'll miss somebody as I go down a little bit of memory lane tonight. But I want to take a little time just to kind of think where we've all been. When Mike Kehoe was up here and Andrew Bailey and all of them, I'm going to go through all of them here in just a minute. And I was sitting there thinking they both claimed to be, Lincoln, I guess, no, I'm sorry, Lincoln was the farmer up there. Both of them claimed to be first generation farmers. Well, that's good because I want them to expand on that. But me and the First Lady happened to have our second great-grandchild yesterday. He would be a 6th generation farmer if we're getting that. It's been a heck of a route that we've been on. It's been 6 years of a lot of things that's occurred during that 6 years times. But I will tell you one thing, and most of you know this, it's out there, because some of you's got a little gray hair like I do, and some of you's young, and to be able to know how much family values means to you. And what it really means to have somebody by your side in some of the most difficult times. Because we all go through them in some way, some fashion, some shape, that we all go through them. What this lady has been by my side through the sheriff days, through the gas station days, through the farming days, to all the things I've took her for 38 years. She's been by my side. And I'm going to tell you this, and I know I'm totally biased, but you're going to find it hard. And I hope somebody does. And I hope it's Claudia does a better job than the first lady you have right now. But I'm going to tell you, they got their work cut out to match the first lady of the state of Missouri. Would you please welcome, please? So I know my ag director's here, Christian. I know she was introduced a while ago, but man, what a great partnership we've had with all my cabinet members. I don't know, is there any more of my cabinet members here? If you are a cabinet member, just stand up for just a second if you're here somewhere. I don't know who's here. Just you, Chris? Then stand up, Chris. How about this? Give her another round of applause. So people ask me, as governor, who I'm going to endorse in races. That's always a popular question of who you're going to endorse. And the media asks me that everywhere I go. It seems like that's such a hot question. But for all of you here tonight, I want you to understand something. And I'm not saying nothing bad about anybody else, so don't even read into anything. But no governor in the state's history has picked as many statewide as I have. The governors before me, they picked one, is the most they've ever picked. I had picked 5 statewide candidates at some of the most difficult times in our state. Mike Kehoe, I asked him to be lieutenant governor, and when I did, and I knew Mike, I knew Claudia very well, but I told Mike, I said, I got one request. You got to work. This is not a cush job that I need help, and I need a good person I can trust. And I can be loyal to, and I want you to be loyal to me. And I can go on, let me talk about Eric Schmidt. I forgot about him, the U.S. Senator. I picked him for Attorney General first, and he's now the U.S. Senator. I just picked Vivek for State Treasurer. Now, Vivek got up here, and you're thinking, okay, how come the old country boy picks Vivek? Well, I'll tell you why I did. He's loyal, he's dedicated, he come to this country with $350 in his pocket, couldn't speak English when he got here, to say the least. And he did what he was supposed to do. He worked hard, he worked his way through college, he started his own business, and he speaks English, and he come here legally. That's the example I want people to understand. Andrew Bailey, appointed him Attorney General. He was my general counsel in the governor's office when we were fighting. I have literally fought. I've had 2 years of peace. Well, I won't even say that, because I fought the federal government ever since I've been governor. But since Biden has taken over, it is worse. And I just hope there's nobody in here that thinks he's doing a good job. If he does, I'm probably just going to insult the tar out of him before this is over, to be able to do it. But I had to have somebody to fight against that administration. I told Andrew, a young man's never been in the political arena before, him and his family. And for his wife and his kids, they had no idea what I was asking him to do when I asked that. But I said, Andrew, I need you to stay as the Attorney General. We need some stability there. I need you to stay there for 8 years. That's what I asked him. You know why? Because we got to have a good Attorney General to fight for us every day, and what we did. He agreed to that, and I am going to hold him to that for 8 years, Andrew, so be ready. Now, let me finish up. Scott Fitzpatrick is now the state auditor. I selected him years ago to be able to be a statewide elected position. These guys have been loyal to me through thick and thin. Through floods, through droughts, through civil unrest, through COVID-19. In the 6 years that I've been governor, we have been battle after battle. So it's pretty simple for me. They come and help me when I ask them to help. So I'm loyal to the people that come to help me. That's where I stand on this issue. So when people ask me, what am I going to say? And again, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but I put those guys in those positions. I trust them, and I know they're good for you. So you'll have to make your decisions, but I'm telling you tonight, I'm proud of every one of them for what they've done. Chris, would you do me a favor? I left the book there on the hill there. You bring that up to me, please. I forgot to give you my sales pitch. There's this book in the back of the room. This guy's a good guy, too, if you don't know. It's No Turning Back. It's a biography of my life. And I wasn't going to do one when they first asked me to do it, because I thought there was a lot more people in this whole world more important than I was to do a biography about me. But as I started living, going back and looking at my life and understanding how different it is than a lot of people's. But what I will tell you tonight, it was the life of about probably a lot of you in this room tonight. My mom and dad were sharecroppers. They went from other people's farms to other people's, working on their farms all the time. We kept moving around until I was about 11 years old. They bought my grandpa's place and started farming for their own. The only thing I learned on that farm, well, I learned everything on that farm. I learned how important faith is, how important family is, what it's like to be a good neighbor, and how valuable freedom was. And it talks about that in that book. I had plenty of struggles in my life. I'll tell you now, because I'm not running no more. I was actually in trouble when I was a young man. And if you want to know what I was in trouble for, you have to buy the book to be able to do that. But I made some mistakes in this book, and it talks about me going into the military, serving as sheriff, owning gas stations, being a farmer. The reason I did the book is because I wanted everybody, and it's a political year, and I want you, everyone in this room, to understand this. You don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to be successful. But you do have to work hard. Nobody's going to give you anything in this whole world. And you guys out there like me that are farmers, you men and women out there, you understand when you work that land, it's on you. It ain't on anybody else, it's on you. And that's how I grew up. And I understand what it's like being a good neighbor, not relying on government. That's what it talks about in the book. It talks about me and Teresa and all the struggles we got. The books are $30 a piece. I used to joke around, they ordered 10,000 of these things. And I said, oh Lord, please somebody buy some of these books. Because I'll never be able to park my truck in the garage again if we don't get rid of these things. I used to say that. Right now we've sold over 7,000 copies of this across the state of Missouri. Every bit of the money goes to the First Lady's Foundation. It's to help kids, much like me when I grew up. Probably was borderline whether I finished school or whether I didn't finish school. It's to help disabled kids. It's to help the youth for whatever needs they might need to be able to make them complete, to have an opportunity, the American dream. That's what the money goes for. If you want to buy one, you're back here somewhere. If you want it autographed, it's already autographed. But if you want it personalized to you, I will stick around for a while. And if you'll come back here and see me, I'll make sure and get it if you want it. Whether you like me or not, I need you to buy the book. All right. So where'd Mike go? Where'd Gary go? Where's he at? You know, I got to share this story with you real quick. He's probably one of the very few politicians. He's a politician now, so don't let him tell you no. He has run for the school board. You know what? Yeah, he did. And he won. I sent him money. I don't hardly ever send anybody money, but I sent him money. I don't know what he's going to do on the school board, but he's going to be dang good entertainment, so it's the best money I ever spent, I can tell you that. Okay, Mike. Last night, for me up here speaking, Mike Deering has been a dear friend. More than he has probably his title with the Cattlemen's Association. I want to tell you guys something. I've seen a lot of fighters in Jeff City. I've seen a lot of people that think they're pretty good at their jobs or what they do. But I'm going to tell you, Mike Deering does not always agree with everything I've done either. And he's not afraid to come up and tell me I'm wrong sometimes. Of course, he was wrong, but he came up and told me I was. But I'm telling you, there's not a better fighter for any association. There's a lot of members here. But Mike Deering, you'll always be a friend to me as a personal person and as the governor of the state of Missouri. I'll always be proud I got to work with you. Thank you for your service. There's some other people here tonight. Many years ago, when I was in the Senate, we had some groups up here called the HSUS. It was up here trying to take our rights away from, it seems like always somebody's trying to take our rights away from being farmers. It's just a beat and saying everything. We feed the world and we feed everybody in this room, but somebody wants to take our rights away from us all the time. There's a group here, and I'm sure Betty's here somewhere. Is Protect the Harvest here? I gotta just give a shout out to them. It's my last night here. Where's Protect the Harvest at? You guys here somewhere? Okay, they're back there in the middle of it. Protect the Harvest, thank you so much for what you've done for our state and what Forrest Lucas has done for our state of Missouri. I'll give you a reminder, if you don't remember, we fought the HSUS. They had over $7 million trying to go after the dog breeders of the state and farmers over there. You know how much we had? Mike probably remembers, I can tell you, 350,000. And I called Forrest one night on the phone and says, Forrest, we need a little help. Forrest Lucas come to help us in our state where he didn't have to. And he has spent millions upon millions of dollars to help farmers and ranchers on this state. For him and Charlotte and Protect the Harvest, I thank you all so much for what you've done for our state. Thank you very much. So what do you do when you become governor and you're never expecting to be governor? You go back to them roots where I talked to you, I came from, common sense, trying to treat people right, knowing you can't make everybody happy. And I got to become governor in the state of Missouri, and they says, what are you going to do now? Talks about that in the book also. But here's what I'll tell you. For 6 years now, I went back to faith, I went back to family, and I went to freedom. Those are the three things I've lived by from being governor. Whoever your next governor is, and I've already told you who I'm supporting, if you can read between the lines, but what the heck, you don't have to read between the lines. Mike Kehoe is the only one running for governor, knows how to run a business, knows how to be a farmer, and knows how to make sure and take care of this association and ranchers across this state. Because when you get to be governor, it's about running a business. It's about making decisions. You're not going to make everybody happy. And you got to be willing to do that and to understand how important that is. And sometimes you have to put your own personal feelings to the side and try to do what's right. And for all of you here tonight, when people try to get elected, they'll say anything to get elected. Anything during election. I asked you one thing. Remember how many of them people you knew and what they've done before they come to ask you for support tonight. Ask yourself, are they qualified to be in this position, or are they just running for a position? Mike said something open. He says you got to know how to govern. You better have some experience to know how to govern, because you don't get a chance to take a break. 6 years, you're going to deal with things. One story I'll tell you now that it's kind of past time, when the civil unrest was going on in our state. I got a call on Saturday, and things were going pretty crazy in St. Louis. Starting to go sideways in St. Louis, I'll say, in Kansas City. I got a call at home, and it was from some elected officials in the St. Louis region, some in Kansas City. Said, whatever you do, Governor, don't panic, and don't send the National Guard. It's going to send the wrong message. That was on Saturday. Sunday night, I had the National Guard in Kansas City and St. Louis. That's right, to make sure they're not going to burn everything down in our state. Those decisions you have to make to do the right thing. Recently, I sent our Highway Patrol members and our National Guard down to the border. I sent them down there for you. That's why I sent them down there. But I'm going to tell you what, 10 million people's come across that border, and I've been down there twice now. You want to be an eye-opener, you go down there and see what's happening down there to Governor Abbott in Texas. And every one of you should find some way in the world, if you ever get a chance to meet Governor Abbott, and he's a friend, you need to say thanks. Because if he's not doing what he's doing, trying to stop that when the federal government's letting 10 million people in here, here's what I'm going to tell you, though, they're coming. You don't let 10 million people in the United States and think they're not going to end up in Missouri someday. You're going to have to be ready, and we're going to have to be ready, and the governor's going to have to be ready. You know how many 10 million people is in the state of Missouri? To just put that in perspective for you, it would be the 10th largest state in the United States if you put all of them in one state. Those are the things you got to stand up and be ready for and draw a line in the sand. We did tax cuts in this state when I was governor, not just once, not just the largest one. We did 3 in the 6 years. No governor's ever done that. You know one thing you find out that you already know about common sense? You know, if you get people like you out there tonight, if you give you back your money, guess what you do with it? You spend it. Government don't have to do that. You do it, and our revenues are higher than they've ever been in our state. That's why you do common sense things when you're governor, and to be able to do that. Somebody mentioned the rural roads. I think Lincoln did. We paved over half the lettered roads in the state of Missouri at this point, and this year we doubled the amount to finish the rest of them in the state of Missouri. You know why that's important to me? Because I'm going to be driving down them before long. I want one too, except mine ain't there yet, but I'll be glad when it gets there. The other thing I'm pretty proud of in this administration I want to talk to you about is about broadband, about internet. Within 5 years, if we keep things on track, which we should stay on track. Everyone in the state of Missouri, and I don't care how far you live down a gravel road, everybody in the state will have broadband and internet in your homes if we keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. So let me, and the legislators are here tonight, senators and representatives, and I know they were introduced earlier, but a lot of these guys have become friends of mine and Teresa's and their support over the years for what we've done. But I just appreciate you so much for all you've done for me and Teresa tonight. So thank you all for your elected service to the state of Missouri. And believe it or not, there is some good ones out there. Just don't judge the state on the federal government, I can tell you that right now, to be able to do that. So, in closing, you guys heard me say this before, but you know when the speaker says, in closing, 85% of the people listen to you. In closing, Teresa, come up here. Come on up here. I'm starting to listen to my own words because I am closing, actually. This is the last time that we're going to be up here as the governor and first lady in this association tonight. But I tell you, it has been an incredible journey for both of us. And as tough as it's been, both of us are so honored that we've been in the positions we've been in to be the 57th governor of the state of Missouri and to be able to see so many people around the state to call our friends. And to understand in Missouri, there is so many good people out there on both sides of the aisle that are just trying to live their lives. And I hope all we have done since our time, it's not about me and her anymore. It's really not. We've lived the American dream. I mean, we really have. But for all these kids that are here, and our children and our grandkids and your grandkids and our great-grandkids, it's about making sure they get to live the American dream just like we did. Like all of us have. It's never easy. But the one thing all of you's got to remember, the only way they live the American dream is through us. You got to do your part. All of you've got to do your part to make sure that they have that opportunity. And with that, for the last time, it is an honor and privilege to be
the 57th governor of the great state of Missouri. God bless you, God bless Missouri, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much. Ladies and gentlemen, your 57th governor and first lady, make some noise. And don't forget about that book in the very far back. I think the governor and first lady are going to hang around a little bit. And if you want him to sign it, now he got your attention. You should have done that earlier. Thank you, Governor. One more round of applause for your 57th governor. All right, we kept the silent auction open a little bit longer. You got 5 minutes, 7:40, we're gonna shut her down. We're gonna get ready for the live auction. The volunteers, go ahead and move these tables forward. And we will get this thing going. I want to remind you that big giant bus out there in front of the building for our Lieutenant Governor and our choice for Governor Mike Kehoe. He's got Sharpies out there. You can sign that bus. You can endorse him on the spot. Put your signature on the bus as well. We're going to get this live auction going here very soon. Here and again, about 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to roll on. We're going to be done in record time. The silent auction is staying open for